Welcome everyone to the DAZN boxing show here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia for, as you can see behind us, the battle of the baddest, Adi Oladipo, Barry Jones. This is exciting. This is different.
Is. Yeah, no, it really is. We look forward to it. You know, it's been a little while now and they've all made us feel really welcome, and this is something spectacular.
I knew it was going to be incredible because of the press conference that I went to in London, which was spectacular. And I knew they were going to go up another level. But just to tell you how much of a level they've gone up to, it isn't just one press conference, it's what we're kind of used to. Not two, but three. There were three press conferences. So you got the undercard, and then you've got Fabio Wardley versus David Adeleye, and then you've got Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou. They do it big here.
They do, but I would think that those last two fights do deserve. Certainly, you know, obviously Fury and Ngannou deserves their own press conference, but yeah. Adeleye and Wardley, you know, the way that's been so spicy, and it really has, you know, we want to see them on their own. I mean, they might need the space for the security, let's be honest.
Indeed, they will.
Between them.
Yeah, no, they will. It's a great fight. Again, that's for the British heavyweight and Commonwealth titles. We'll talk about that in a minute. Let's start from the top. The big one, Fury versus Ngannou. Honest opinions here. And I know you're a man of honesty. How much chance do you give Ngannou?
None.
Okay.
Absolutely none. You can't. People say it's puncher's chance, and it's no disrespect to him in his chosen field. He's an absolute monster, but this is a different exercise for him. I just think
you don't give him a puncher's chance.
I do. No, I don't, because Deontay Wilder was a puncher.
Yeah.
And he couldn't get rid of Fury. And
put him down 4 times.
But he couldn't get rid of him, and I don't see. I just can't see it. I just think the way, and I don't follow you at MMA, but I did watch some of Ngannou's fight because I had to. And he looks powerful, and he does, and he looks athletic, and he looks really good. But when he throws that right hand, he brings that right foot forward, and I would imagine that's a tactic to get close to his opponent, to take him down or whatever. I don't really know, but for a boxer to do that, that's a huge mistake. You square yourself up, you've got a big gap in between two gloves then for someone who's as accurate and as quick-timed as Fury to hit a clean target. So the things that work for him in his chosen sport will be a detriment to him in this sport, I feel.
What about the fact that Fury's used to being fighting against traditional boxers, right? With traditional boxers, you kind of know exactly what they're going to do. You can read them. What about someone as unorthodox as Ngannou? Doesn't that bring a problem?
Yeah, it does if he fully commits and goes and takes that chance to almost rush him. But you're risking to walk onto something there yourself, and I just think, and watching Ngannou set up, and he looks like he sets up really well, and he keeps his hands up high, throws a nice jab. So I think he's going to try and do the fundamentals, which you should do.
I think he's pretending with that, by the way. I've said it to a lot of people. I think all the clips we're seeing, everything that he's been putting out so far, I think he's holding back.
But yesterday he was faster on the jab. He looked a bit more fluent. I think he let it slip a little bit. It was lighter but faster. I think he did. But with that, trying to do the fundamentals, which you have to in this sport, especially as a heavyweight, and stay safe, I think if he conforms to that, that makes him an easier target for Fury. I would just say this: in any stage of Tyson Fury's career, would he use Ngannou for sparring and preparation for a fight? And the answer would be no. That's the truth. And so you got to put that in context. And now he's clearly the best in the world, #1 in his field. No, potentially a great fighter against a novice.
Yeah.
And we said this with McGregor and Mayweather back in 2015, I think, if I remember rightly. And Mayweather played for him, and McGregor did better than what we expected as well. I would say that.
I think McGregor's a better boxer than Ngannou.
Well, he had more experience, but only as an amateur. Yeah. But as you said, they are big giants, and Fury does give you opportunities because he likes the showboat, and he will want to put on a show because this is a fight that he feels he can't lose, and he can't really. So there's always that caveat that if he does take a big shot. But it's...
So that means, by going with your logic, every single ounce of pressure is on Tyson Fury here, not only to win, but to make this look easy.
Well, this piece...
He should, right? He's a lineal heavyweight champion, a generational talent. I agree with you on that one, against someone that's never boxed before.
Yeah.
This should be easy.
Potentially a generational talent, I would say. I think.
Okay.
But I think he's close to that.
Yeah.
But I would... it's the sport. He has the sport on his back, because if our best fighter in that division, in our marquee division, can't beat the guy who's never boxed before, what does that say about our sport?
You know what, yeah, from a spectator standpoint, as a fan, I actually want to see some jeopardy. I want to see Ngannou land one. I want to see him land one, and I want to see how Fury reacts to it.
I do for excitement when I'm going to be there. I want to see it. I want to see a good hard fight. And Ngannou, given opportunity, if you stand with him, like any big man, and he's a monster of a man, by the way, he'll be able to give it to you. You'll have a hard night's work. But having that ring IQ, not always about moving the feet, ring IQ, knowing how to sway shots, block shots. He did it against Dillian White in second gear. He did it against Chisora in first gear. So he'll have an easy night.
Yeah. What I don't like about this, and some people might say, well, this is the carrot dangled in front of Fury's face. There's an Alexander Usyk fight waiting. Isn't that risky or maybe slightly disrespectful to Ngannou to name a fight before you've got rid of the guy in there?
But it always is. But that's.
I've seen that go wrong a couple of times.
We have, but not in this context when you're boxing a novice. But I would say it adds to the excitement because that will be a thing where if he makes the pressure on himself, he makes a mistake. It's not only for Fury. He can't just win. He has to win well.
Yeah.
He can't carry him. I don't feel. You think he might try to?
So he has to stop him.
Oh, yeah, I think so. He has to. Yeah.
Agreed.
I can't see how he doesn't. I think he dines out Fury on being unbeatable. So you have to make a statement against a guy who's never boxed before. Now there's no pressure on Ngannou. He can come out freely, whatever he does, unless he turns around and runs away. He comes away with nothing but credit. He's taken on the best in his division in a sport he's never done before.
You say that everyone would do that. Everyone would do it. Yeah, 10 million, everyone would do it. Middleweights would jump up to heavyweight for this opportunity.
But he would. But he's still doing it.
Yeah,
he's still going to get in, still take the shots.
Yeah.
And still being possibly in a fight where he's going to be at times, and I think quite early, not knowing what to do and lost. That could be. And I've been there. And I've boxed all my life, and it's a lonely place when you have no answer to what your opponent's trying to do to you.
If Fury wins the way I think we both think he does win, which I think is a few rounds, then he gets Ngannou out of here. Does he have enough time to turn around and fight Alexander Usyk December 23rd?
I think so.
Yeah?
For this, I think so. Yeah, I do.
Do you think he will?
I hope so.
Okay.
Come on now. We're talking heavyweights, and we're talking Tyson Fury and Usyk, and we've been here before. So
we have.
Yeah. And I'm not happy about the 23rd of December date, to be honest, though that close to Christmas. But
money talks, and also, there's a lot of money here.
This year, 2023 has been a great year for boxing. It's been a fantastic year for professional boxing. We've seen the best fight the best. In Boxing Day, we're going to see Inoue box Tapales to unify another division, hopefully, probably. So it's great. We had a great time of it. We really have. Chantal Cameron and Taylor. I can go on forever. You know that. We got Haney and Prodi coming up.
All right, stop. Enough. You're going to read out the whole list of the years.
Bam and Sonny coming up as well. It's been great. But the heavyweight division is where the whole world takes notice.
Yeah.
So we want to see the fight. We need that fight, and that would, because when they have success and when there's notice for that, it trickles down to all of us.
All right, that's the main event. We'll talk more about it throughout the week. Make sure you're locked in to the DAZN's YouTube channel as well. Loads of clips coming your way. Let's talk about the co-main event, which a lot of people are saying, look at the face you just made. Fight of the night potentially. Unbeaten, two kids, David Adelaide versus Fabio Wardley. The British title will be on the line as well. Commonwealth title on the line. This is, for hardcore boxing fans, this is what they're tuning in for, this one.
It's a great fight. And what makes me so happy is I've been told that this is the richest British heavyweight title fight.
Wow.
In the history of British boxing.
Wait, more than AJ Dillian White, which was on pay-per-view.
I got told that the biggest purse was Gary Mason versus Lennox Lewis.
No chance.
That's what I got told.
AJ Dillian White was more than that, surely.
Well, that's what I got told.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's true. But I can't believe that, but that's not true.
Yeah.
But either way, that fight is the fight that we all want to see.
Yeah.
And for two undefeated kids in this generation, when people get criticised for not taking fights, they've both been so willing to step up, and you can see why. Because they exude confidence.
Yeah.
David had a little bit of a blip, but since then he's regrouped. He's had some really good learning fights, and he's looked, I would say, really good and average in the same measure. But if he can get it right on the night with a good jab that he has and the forcefulness that he can show, he's a hard night for Fabio Wardley.
What I will say is, and I think everyone's gone back and forth on it, which shows how good a fight it is. You ask a lot of people, one day they choose Fabio Wardley, the next day they choose David Adelaide. That's what it should be. For a British title, it should be a 50-50 scrap.
And this is the closest 50-50 that I can remember.
Yeah.
I have to say that, especially for this level, because I usually pick my horse early and I stick with it because I have a reason why I think someone's going to win. This one, I've been very I'm not quite sure. Because Fabio Wardley, the way he starts off a fight, he's athletic. He goes in the fight because he had no amateur background. He goes in a fight, winging it almost, thinking, no one, even I didn't know where my limitations were, so I'm just going to keep going until I reach it. And so he fights freely. And you very, very see that from a fighter.
Yeah, I don't think anyone expected him to go as this far.
Yeah,
Again, white collar background, to be the British champion and eventually fight for the Commonwealth title as well. You win that, you're fringe world level.
Yeah, and the thing is, he can be light on his feet. He has fast hands, but he's aggressive and he wants to hurt you. And he's
So does Adelaide.
So
does Adelaide.
And he's one of those fighters, Fabio Wally, that when he gets hurt, he throws. He doesn't think about protecting himself, which is a recipe for disaster, but also the recipe for your greatest successes. Because when you're under pressure like that and the fighter goes for you, you're still thinking about trying to hurt him. And I've seen that time and time again where fighters have been hurt or don't know where they are, and they pick up the money punch to save their career. And he might have that.
The DJ is clearly playing with us here. He's doing it. He's making us raise our voices. But again, the atmosphere is starting to build as we await the press conference beginning. I want to talk about a fight further down on the card as well. Joseph Parker versus Simon Keane. Joseph Parker, I don't think yet has fully recovered from the Joe Joyce defeat.
Yep.
Yeah. He'll get tested against Simon Keane because Simon Keane's a puncher. Interesting fight.
It is. I think this is the one where there's a potential banana skin. I do. I think Keane's good and he's powerful and he's aggressive, but he's also hittable.
Yeah.
But Joseph Parker, not sure. He seems like the things that what we hear about in the camp is that he's doing better than ever. But what we saw against Jack Massey was a fighter who still not quite as really confident in his engine and his power. So he's been a great boxer, a world champion. He can box really well. He got fast hands, fast feet. But I think he's slowed a little bit, and I think he's not quite adapted to that yet. And that's why I give Keane a really good chance. I make Parker the favourite, and I think he will win if he can get the energy right. But the energy is the problem for him. I think he lacks that energy that he once had, on his way to the world title. I think that's gone a little bit from him, and that might have been that war he had with Joe Joyce.
Maybe so. Every division has a gatekeeper. There's no man that epitomises the gatekeeper tag better than Carlos Takam. He takes on Martin Bakole, two guys coming off really good wins. Carlos Takam got a win in France against Tony Yoka. We know that Martin Bakole beat Tony Yoka recently as well. I like this fight.
Yeah.
It has everything. It could be really great, or I have to be honest with you, could be really boring. I don't know which way it goes.
It's a fight that you think Bakole can't lose. How can he lose this? No, he's a big, strong guy who's technically very good. Hits hard, solid with every punch. But Takam, because he's short, he gets low, he uses the advantage.
Yeah.
He's teeth tough.
Yeah.
And I haven't used that word for such a long time. But we have to use it for Carlos Takam. He is teeth tough.
He is.
He's got a real hard head, hard shoulders.
As tough as old boots.
Oh, mate.
He's as tough as old boots.
Bring them all on, aren't we? Welcome to the 1980s. But he is that sort of character, and he can wear you down and work you out. So you got to start fast and make Bakole gas out early. But Bakole, I think his engine's improved, and Bakole's one of those fighters who should be boxing for a world title. Yeah. But people are going to avoid him because he brings nothing to the table. So you got to beat Takam. You got to go through the list to get to the top. And I think Bakole does a really good job.
He should. I think Cody should beat Takam as well. But look, again, a great night heavyweight boxing. Arslan Makdumov is here as well. Very, very good fighter, unbeaten. Mosatuma as well on a card. Mosatuma, only 18 years of age, looking for those big fights in a couple of years' time as well. Look, loads more coming your way here on DAZN. Make sure you stay locked in to DAZN. Make sure you look at the YouTube page as well. Instagram, we're giving you everything. And make sure, more importantly, you watch the action live this Saturday on DAZN. Check your local listings for timings.